Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast by We Are One, You Are Two. This is a video game and PlayStation podcast. I'm your host, as always, Rob Fanzo, joined once again by Mr. Rocket League aficionado himself, Matt Rhodes.
Hello.
Matt, we got a great show lined up for listeners this week. First, I just want to remind us all that we are a PlayStation podcast first and foremost, but we also talk about gaming news, highlight members of the community, and discuss a topic for the day. Today, we're actually going to talk a little bit about quite a bit of PlayStation news, and then we're going to jump into our topic, which is games that have stuck with us even when we're not playing them. And then we're going to say hello to a listener or two, some community members, talk about this day in gaming history. See you soon with our podcast version of looking at the PS blog, and wrap it up with what would Matt do for that trophy.
Hey-o.
But first, before I forget, two things I want to mention. We are recording this on a Thursday, and since we were doing that, I just made a new logo for our little podcast.
Oh, snap. And it looks fire.
It does. Now it matches the intro. Now we've got a fire intro, and we've got a lit logo.
Now we just need some really good podcasters.
We just need somebody to do a really good podcast with. And then also our Let's Play of Monster Hunter World, which is janky in its own right, but still fun to watch. I did a lot of editing on that one. It took me almost a full week to edit, an hour and a half down to a half hour. So that's on Patreon now. And then by the time you listen to this, it'll actually be up on our YouTube channel as well. So if you just search for We Are One, You Are Two on YouTube.
You shall find it.
Yes. Now, before we get started with everything, as we always do, let's go ahead and talk about what we've been playing.
Hey,
Matt, what have you been playing?
Rocket League is always the answer. Surprise, surprise. This guy plays Rocket League. Boatload. But also Monster Hunter World. We've been playing that a couple times. Be okay with if we did another one of those. I feel like now that I'm 30 hours into the game, I feel like if we did another you play thing, it would be better for sure.
We have actual conversation.
Yeah, we might be able to have actual conversations instead of just running around silently from boss to boss or whatever.
I did trim a lot of that out, believe me.
You did what?
I trimmed a lot of that out, believe me.
Oh, okay. Well, good. It needed it for sure. But other than that, that's pretty much been it. Just Rocket League and Monster Hunter World. Yeah, that's it. How about you?
Well, a little bit of Rocket League. Just a few games with you, and did we play any together this week?
No.
No, I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
I played a couple by myself, and I felt really bad because I started a game with a guy, and I was carrying us, and then I had to run out. I literally didn't have any more time. I thought I had more time, and so I literally quit in the middle of the match, and I'm like, he probably got crushed because...
Aren't you a garbage person?
I was one of those garbage people this week. So I'm sorry if he's listening. I doubt it.
That's a nice warning for the listeners. If you want to start a game of Rocket League, make sure you have 8 minutes to play. That's all. And make sure you have at least 8 minutes. That's how long a game should take.
Should. Well, the other thing was nothing. There was 2 minutes left, and despite my best efforts, I couldn't score anything before I left. So I've also been playing Neo. I got into one of those Twilight side missions that Neo has, and normally you face one of the scrawny little characters that you've been fighting. One of the typical enemies you fight almost every level. I didn't realize that I had fought the end of this level, this submission, was actually the same boss that I fought way earlier in the game that I absolutely hated and dreaded. So that was fun. Monster Hunter with you, of course. Finally getting proficient at that. And then 2 games. One I just started this morning. And then one I started a couple days ago on my Vita. They both just came out. Pinstripe, that you and I had talked so much about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I started that, and that seems really atmospheric and amazing. And depressing all at the same time.
No, of course.
And then a game on Vita called Deadbolt, which is a Hotline Miami knockoff. But instead of a top-down view, it's like you can see the entire level or like the entire house area that you have to go through.
Cool.
And that's really cool. You play as Death. And your job is to go kill crime bosses and zombies
Death?
and vampires.
Like
he plays
Grim
Grim
Reaper?
Reaper.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's actually, I hated the first 30 seconds or so of it when I was playing. I was like, these gameplay mechanics suck. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, I couldn't put it down. So
cool.
It's one of those ones I think if you stick with it, you'd be amazed at how awesome it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So, I mean, that's quite a list of games I've been playing, but that's all I can think of. I'm mostly Monster Hunter. I'm so addicted to that. I'm terribly addicted. Like, that's going to lead into our topic later on in the show. That's one of those games I can't stop thinking about when I'm not playing it. I know you mentioned Rocket League to me earlier in the week was one of those for you. So,
oh, for sure.
Stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. It is time for PlayStation-News. This is where we cover PS news, sometimes the world beyond it from the past week. And so we're going to go ahead and take care of that and see what we can find out about that as well. So first off on the list, and we got 15 items on the list. So we're going to go through some of them kind of quickly because otherwise we'll be here all night. It is a big list. I mean, I hadn't read any news all week, and I thought, my goodness, will the stories ever end today when I was pulling this stuff together?
That's why I'm glad we do this on Thursdays. I feel like by the time that even if there's not anything in the beginning of the week, there's like a boatload of stuff Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, and what's great about that, too, is if you're listening and you missed last week, because by the time we publish this every Sunday evening, Monday morning, typically, or Monday night even.
Yeah.
We'll try and shoot for Monday at the latest, always, if we can. What ends up happening is if you missed the news the week before, we're here to catch you up with it. So that's what I like about it, too, because I didn't read any news this week, and so I felt like I was playing catch up. So,
yeah.
All right. So item number 1, Microsoft news. I just thought this was interesting. They revealed their games with gold for March, and it's Trials of Blood Dragon. It's super hot, which I really, really want to play. Brave's the Disney character game.
Yeah.
And Quantum Conundrum. And each one of them is available for 2 weeks in pairs starting at the beginning of March. So I think you get like Trials of Blood Dragon and Super Hot March 1st through the 14th. Yeah. And then the 15th through the 31st, you get Brave and Quantum Conundrum. So you get 4 games split over the month. Which I thought was kind of cool.
And now, do you only have those 2 weeks to play those games?
Well,
or is it just like you only have that to download them?
Download.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's just their right, because Games with Gold is their download. It's not their Game Pass program.
Right.
So, yeah, you get those 2 weeks to download it, but that's 4 games, 2 of which are, Trials of Blood Dragon was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's Trials, I think that's Trials the Motocross game. My apologies. I was thinking of the Far Cry DLC. And then Super Hot, which looks, like I said, amazing. And then the other 2, I don't know much about. Unless you have a kid, I'm sure Brave may not appeal to you.
Disney makes good games too, Rob. How dare you?
I played the crap out of Aladdin back on the Genesis in the day.
Sega Genesis Aladdin. Blast from the past. Yeah, I hear you. I played it too.
Yeah, I played Lion King. I played all of those crappy licensed games.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like, let's try to make more money off this animated thing.
Why not?
Lion King was not easy either.
Oh, no,
I remember that battle at the end being some tough crap. Like, don't try to fight your way to Scar at the end. Oh, good Lord.
I don't even think I made it that far, to be honest. I can't recall. Number 2, Fortnite Season 3 is coming up, and you and I are going to play this very soon. We're going to... I actually talked with my buddy Shane. We're going to squad up. We'll put him in charge since he's the military guy.
Sure, yeah.
We'll blame him on why we lose, right?
Yeah, that's his fault. If he can't lead us as a good commander, then that's on him and the
Army
for their lack of good training.
Because clearly that would translate over to video games.
Of course. Yeah. How could it not?
Naturally. So Fortnite Season 3 is coming up. We're going to do a Let's Play with that, though. We'll squad up the three of us and try and make that work. You and I are going to get some practice in, though.
Yeah.
They're going to release stuff like a hand cannon. And there's some other good stuff to come. I didn't want to list all the patch notes here on the podcast, but you can find details at IGN or on Fortnite's, on the website of that company as well.
Yeah.
Number 3 comes from Lucy O'Brien over at IGN. She writes that EA has shared the first details around this year's E3 adjacent event, EA Play. During E3, in a press release, EA promised players who will attend the chance will get to play the next Battlefield experience and get an inside look at Anthem.
Nice.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
It's going to allow you to pair up. They're going to pair up again with popular content creators across YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or Twitter, allow them to stream and vlog directly from the show. So maybe, if we get popular enough one day, we'll do that for people.
Hey, yes, I would love to go to E3 and do that for people.
Yeah. You can make it happen.
Yeah, you can.
You can. You got to go to Patreon first, but you can make it happen.
Yeah.
Item number 4, I know you kind of were pumped or reacted to this right before we started. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding, which I am super excited for when it comes out in 2045.
Oh man.
I'm predicting 2020. Has some big names, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Mads Mikkelsen is in there. Guillermo del Toro is in there. But now you have Troy Baker, Mr. Uncharted, Mr. Bioshock Infinite, Mr. Last of Us Joel.
Mr. Everything, really.
Mr. Everything.
I mean, if you don't know the name Troy Baker and you play video games, shame on you, sir. Or madam.
I agree. Because he's going to join the cast.
A stupid amount of everything.
Yes. And so is writer and actress Emily O'Brien.
Nice.
She's Gamora in Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy series, which I haven't played, or League of Legends for you MOBA nerds. And she has a TV role in Young and the Restless and Rock in a Hard Place. And so I'm not as familiar with her.
Okay.
That's cool. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Hideo Kojima. Who doesn't want to work with him?
Right, exactly. Plus, his things are so cinematic and legit, like almost movies themselves,
Yeah. Which I didn't include this on the news list, but I'm going to throw it in there. Metal Gear, and actually we'll probably talk about it with the blog drop, but Metal Gear Survive came out this week. They first Metal Gear non-Hideo Kojima game. So we'll talk about that, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody knew it came out except Konami. Number 5, also via IGN, and tying in with Naughty Dog and Troy Baker, so you can see the transition here. Good old Neil Druckmann said during a panel at the DICE Summit that they are open, quote unquote, in the future to the next game we do might not be third person.
Wow.
And so take that for what it will, but Naughty Dog doing a first person game, maybe.
Is that Naughty Dog saying they're gonna do a VR game?
Oh, you know what? I would buy a VR.
Oh, I mean,
for that.
What's a good way to sell some VR but get Naughty Dog to make something for it?
Yeah. Or you could do what item number, we'll jump ahead to item number 7 here. Right, we'll come back to 6. Sony PSVR is on sale this week for the next 2 weeks, I think it is, for $199.
That's nuts.
Did you check out the PSN store this week too?
With like the 70% off flash sale on like a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, it's 90% of its VR games for like $5, $6.
That's smart.
It is. I was tempted to buy some of them, and on the off chance that I'll get a VR eventually, I thought, well, you know what? If I spend $20 and get 4 games, I'll get to it eventually. So jumping back, item 6, this ties in with Sony as well. I'm glad they did this. Not that I care too much, but they finally launched a browser-based version of PSN, and it's live. This is courtesy of IGN and other outlets too, Push Square and stuff. The news was announced on the Japanese PlayStation blog and picked up by users on Reset Era. So basically, you can access it through your browser, smartphone, and tablet, and search for friends, send friend requests and messages, just like the app, which I have on my phone. You can peruse your trophies, your notifications. You can manage your account through there.
Right, and they basically made it like a Facebook style, right? I mean, the picture that I saw kind of looks like, like you have a background photo, you have a profile.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it because I just saw this news story this afternoon, and so I did not get a chance to actually check it out yet.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm glad they did that because the previous site was crap.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have something legit.
Yeah, nice that they updated it.
Item number 8, Burnout Paradise, which I never played, but I heard amazing things about.
How could you not have? It's
I know.
just, that's the mode, the like crash mode they have in that game is just stupid fun. You just like the objective is literally just to crash into things and cause as much monetary damage as possible.
Well, the good news is I never got to try it, but the remaster is real and coming to consoles March 16th.
Sweet.
So if there
was some controversy with that. I don't know if you saw this or not. Maybe this is a little piece of news that I know and you don't. I did see like a little blurb about there was some kind of leak about the possibility of EA putting microtransactions into that. And
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I was like, okay, here we go again with another EA microtransaction game. But I think they said it was a mistake. It was like some kind of thing that was not exactly, was not what their intentions were. They're not going to put like microtransactions in that game, but there was like some kind of screenshot that suggested that it was going to have them, but they came out like pretty much right away saying, no, that's wrong. We're not going to do that. Smart. And I wouldn't be surprised if originally they did think of that as have that system kind of built into it. But with all that, backlash that they've been getting in general for all their microtransaction stuff, I'm sure they were just like, let's not do that.
Yeah, and it's funny, actually, Sea of Thieves, which is an Xbox exclusive, actually announced that they're going to have microtransactions in their game after the first 3 months have passed, and that they were mostly going to be cosmetic, if I remember correctly. I don't have that on the news, but just you saying that kind of jarred my memory about that. I don't think we covered that last week because it was kind of, I think, announced on Friday. We recorded on Thursday, and so sometimes Friday news I don't get to ever. But speaking of player bases and microtransactions and keeping your consumers happy, Rainbow Six Siege, which I bought when it was on sale for like $15 or $20 on Amazon, and then never bothered opening it. I cracked it open last week. I was going to try it out this week. Failed to do that. However, item number 9, their player base has grown to 27 million, and so they don't plan on abandoning players. And this is kind of ties into Ubisoft's game as service model. I think they're going more and more towards, they even announced they would. They don't want to make a sequel. Instead, they want to support the game for 10 years with the goal to reach 100 operators. And so what they've communicated, this is a quote from Alexandra Remy. We've communicated already a couple of times about how the vision of the game is to bring us to 100 operators. Today we have 36 operators. Year 3 will bring 8 new operators. The goal of 100 is not only a symbol, but a testament to the longevity that we want to put in the game. Again, we are claiming extremely loud here. There's no sequel planned, and we are here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time. End quote.
So I'm sorry, maybe you said this. What is an operator?
I didn't know it. I'm so glad you asked that. An operator is the different kind of character loadouts that you can pick.
Oh, wow.
And so they have, that's crazy. They have up to, what I say right now, they have 36.
36, they're going to add 8 more in
this
year
year.
3. And then the goal of 100. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. And so actually what I really love about that, I mean, their season pass costs they're still getting you to spend, I think, like $20 a year on those operators, but you don't have to have them. What I like about this, though, is the fact that I could play that game for the next 10 years if I want to, which we'll see if that's true when PlayStation 5 comes out in a couple of years, right? Even though no one's talking about that now. We'll see if that's true, or what they may do is just make a like a remaster or a PS5 version, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like we've seen so much of that this generation.
Yeah, of course.
But that's still cool. And that reminds me of Rocket League, how they're going to support the game as a service, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind if they did that with Monster Hunter, because I'm so addicted to that. I could play that for the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Number 10, Oh, I couldn't figure out what number 10 was. Oh, number 10 is Battlefront 2. It just started off with Jetpack Cargo because I copy and pasted. So it's getting a couple of new modes and new stuff. One's called Jetpack Cargo for Battlefront 2. We'll have players slip on a jetpack and gear up with a rocket launcher for the entire round. It's available for a limited time. They also have Hoth skins for Luke, Leia, and Leia, I'm sorry. Hero looks are unlocked by completing in-game challenges, so no microtransactions yet. And then there's also custom arcade getting a handful of new maps. The AI has had quote-unquote substantial improvements to make more engaging experience. And then icing on the cake is trooper emotes. 2 default emotes for the troopers rather than waiting to unlock them.
Oh,
so a whole lot of goodwill from EA so they can charge us later.
Exactly.
However,
here's your handout. Wait for the payout.
Yep. I do give them credit for supporting Battlefront 2, considering, I mean, they probably still have a huge player base with it, even though it just didn't sell what they wanted it to.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's still a Star Wars title, right? So, I mean, it's still going to have a huge following.
I also saw it was on sale, I think, this week on PSN for like $22.
Oh, nice.
And so, I mean, if you're interested in that stuff, it might be a good time to get it if you don't own it already.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, by the time you're probably listening to this, it might be Monday, so you might have the day to get it. But hey, go for it. Number 11 is interesting to me because I read an article earlier this week about PUBG's numbers have steadily dropped. They've lost over 1 million players in the past month from January to February.
Yeah.
But they're the same group that's responsible for H1Z1 in that battle royale mode, which popularized the genre, has actually struggled to retain players. And G-Hype, I guess it is, reported a drastic drop in players over the last 7 months, something where they went from 80,000 or 60,000 concurrent players on Steam. Last month, I think they were down to 8,000.
Wow.
And so they've lost thousands.
90% drop?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And I know Battle Royale Love King, PUBG has also lost something like 1 million, whereas Fortnite keeps growing. I keep constantly read about Fortnite keep growing, and I think it's because Fortnite constantly updates. Like they constantly have. I just read that update in news item number one. They have constant updates. They did a Valentine's thing. They'll probably do something for St. Patrick's Day. They have new stuff coming out for season 3. PUBG has released in its over a year just released 1 new map. Right, and so there's not constant updates. It's like they're not doing anything over there, so that's why I think they're dropping off. They'll all drop off and die off anyway when Red Dead 2 gets a battle royale mode.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And that would be amazing, right? Like ride a cowboy around the map, 100 people fighting it out.
Exactly.
Like in the wild. I would love that. And then you could have like bar fights and saloon shootouts, right? In like the town with 100 people.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that'd be nuts.
Item number 12, I'm super pumped about, even though I never finished the first one. I think I might have to fire up my PS3 just to do it. Ni no Kuni has gone gold ahead of its release date on the 23rd of March, which means it's good to go. There will be no more delays. I'm super excited about that.
Nice.
Number 13.
Lucky number 13.
Huh?
Lucky number 13.
Yeah. I'm actually going to switch up 13 and 14, so the 14 we can kind of talk about a little bit if we want.
All right,
number 13 I think is really interesting, or 14 is what I had it originally listed as. A lot of people quit. This is from Push Square. A lot of people quit games pretty early on and they lose interest. I agree. Right? Yeah. However, Monster Hunter World doesn't seem to have that issue because a reader sent them in a tip that over 60% of players on PlayStation 4 have stuck past the initial story. According to trophy data, it shows 67.1% of people obtained the Into the Deep trophy, meaning they've reached the high-ranked missions.
Wow.
And that's so awesome. I think you and I have that trophy, do we not? Into the Deep?
No, not yet.
Oh, no, we're not there yet.
No, that's the high-ranked stuff.
Okay.
No.
That's almost 70% of people. That's almost 3/4 of people have played through the majority of that story.
Do you think it's just because the story is more of an air quotes kind of story? I mean, how in-depth is that story, right? I mean, it's not it's the same kind of thing as the gameplay. It's, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I read about it, everyone's like, "Oh, the story, quote unquote," you know, like the loose string that the story follows. But it's still a good game. Like, it's not like that big of a deal, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think actually, what amazes me about that, I guess more so, is the amount of hours you have to put in. Because you just said 30 hours, and I have probably 20 some hours. And now, mind you, we've done some side quests and stuff, but you're still talking about probably 20 to 30 hours to finish the campaign, quote unquote, the story.
Yeah.
Most people don't stick with that. If you look at a lot of games that people play, you don't see that at all, right? And so,
yeah, that's true.
And if you think about the fact that it sold 6 million copies, right? It's sold through 6 million copies. Yeah. That's a huge amount of people. That's millions of people who have stuck with it.
Well, did they actually sell that much, or was it just that many shipped?
It might have been shipped, but the fact that they were at 5 million shipped, and then you get that login bonus like a week later that said 6 million shipped, means they had to send more out.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's interesting. Okay, so the last news item here. Happy birthday, Sony PlayStation 4. You were announced.
Happy birthday. Oh, we can't sing that. There's probably rights to that song.
Probably.
Don't want to get sued.
No, that's probably a common license, but that's okay. We sang it to Dave, so why can't we sing it to Sony?
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear PS4. Happy birthday to you. Make more games.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, yeah, it was announced 5 years ago this week.
That's nuts.
That is nuts. It means we're probably due for a PlayStation 5 announcement sometime soon.
Right?
Because I think they didn't want this generation to last as long as the last one.
Which was only 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah, it was almost 8 years. I think it was like 7 some years and some months.
Well, but here's the thing, though. They didn't want it to, but they're doing so well with it, so why wouldn't they? Yeah,
that's true.
You know?
And you released the Pro, which is kind of like a half-step iteration.
Exactly.
And so maybe wait another couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta... I think it's Xbox's counter move at this point. They have to make a move and see what kind of, to see what they can do as far as trying to get back to the top.
Right. And we talked about that last week, too.
Yeah, exactly. And then Sony will, announce something, I'm sure.
Exactly. All right. Well, that'll wrap up the news. Time for the talk. This is a segment where we have a topic of conversation. We talk in depth about a subject that interests us for the week, that maybe come out of the news or from you, the listener. Once you start writing in, how about that? Once you start writing in, you could be featured on this.
What? They could be featured? That's crazy.
Yeah, you can find
crazy awesome.
I know, crazy awesome. You can find me at Gmail, weare1ur2gmail.com. I changed my Twitter handle to weare1ur2, so you don't even have to think about anything different.
You're so fancy.
I figured, you know what? They deserve the best. And so here I am. I'm going to change my Twitter handle.
You're giving it to them. You're giving them the best treatment for these people.
And they thought X was going to give it to them. They had no idea.
What? Yep.
They
did think that. Oh, man. Good times.
Yeah, so, and then, you can write me on Patreon. You can post over there. You don't have to give me money. You can just post over there. That'll just make me happy. You can write me iTunes reviews. That would make me happy.
Ooh.
Get our name out there, all right?
Look, yeah, for sure.
You're loyal. You're listening every week. You might as well help us out because then we can do other cool stuff.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm done begging now. So our topic for this week...
He's not done begging. I'm sure he'll slip it in there somewhere later.
I guess they'll have to wait and see. Our topic for this week is... I thought this was kind of convenient because I talked earlier about... I've been texting you off and on about Monster Hunter, and we've been sending each other YouTube videos about tips and tricks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Games that you can't stop thinking about, even when you're not playing them.
Yep.
And so I told you to make a list of 5. I came up with my own list of 5. You've peeked at mine. I don't know what yours are.
Oh, was I supposed to write it down?
You didn't have to write it down. It's fine. I mean, this is, a podcast for both of us. So,
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'll make the 5 up off the top of my
I
head.
wrote mine down because I knew I'd forget them.
Yeah.
Because I was really thinking real hard, and I might even change this. I have no idea. I'm looking over at my my stack over there. I might change this. I guess I can't look at the digital stack that I have, though. Oh, you know what? I am going to change one of those up.
Ooh.
I don't know which one. Maybe I'll just have a honorable mention. How's that?
Oh, okay.
All right. Did you put them in any particular order?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, no, not really.
Okay. So do you want to share one at a time? Do you want to share both?
Both. What? What? I only got 2?
Or I mean, I meant, do you want to share?
Well, yeah. Thanks for the support. You're like, thanks for the. Oh, good lord.
Do you want to share one at a time? Do you want to share
you probably,
5?
Since you didn't write them down, you probably only have 2 of them.
Well, honestly, let's be honest. You only play like 2 types of games, and we already know one of them, Rocket League.
Yeah. So you're basically saying I only picked one other one.
Yeah, pretty much. I could have guessed them, I guess, but
yeah, of course.
Why don't we? Yeah, I'll share one. You share one. We'll do that. How's that?
Yeah.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yep. Well, mine are on there now. Now you can see it. Go ahead.
All right. So the first one I'm going to talk about, it's going to be my honorable mention that's not on there. I'm going to start off with the one you don't know about. And I'm going to combine them. Any of the Dark Souls or Bloodborne.
It's funny. You thought I didn't know about that, but I saw you typing it and then deleting it.
I did. I started typing in on our Google Doc, and I erased it because I butchered it. I was typing with no looks.
It looked like parkour and Dark Souls. Like we're trying to make formal words like darkcore. Okay, sure.
But Dark Souls, I remember, especially with Bloodborne, I just couldn't wait. And that was really what got me back into the Souls games, because I had tried Dark Souls, didn't care for it. I tried Dark Souls 2, couldn't get into it. And then Bloodborne just pulled me in, and I couldn't stop thinking about it all the time. I was on the Reddit. I joined the Reddit thread. I was reading stuff all the time I was looking up stuff about lore. Yeah. I felt like a real nerd. And then I got into Dark Souls 3 because of that, and did the same thing. And then I didn't necessarily do the same thing with 1 and 2. I never went back to 2. I did go back to 1 because I watched IGN's Prepare to Try series with Krupa and the boys, and that got me sucked back into, I'm going to go through 1 again. So I got 3/4 of the way through 1, and then life got thrown at me and I never finished it. But that's the first set of games that really, and Bloodborne's what started it, stuck with me, and to the point where I was, at work on the Reddit thread. That's probably why they blocked Reddit at school now, because they saw me on it all the time.
Probably.
But yeah, I was on the Reddit thread the whole time and reading about Bloodborne. And if I couldn't go there, I was looking on whatever I could find. So
yeah,
that's my first one.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with, and this is kind of piggybacking on one of yours, but BioShock. Both, I would say probably both, really, like both the original and Infinite. Because I mean, the original didn't come out for PlayStation right away, did it? It was an Xbox exclusive for like a while, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I just remember I think it was 2007 it came out.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, I definitely didn't play it right away. But once I started playing it, I'm just like, this game is just ridiculous. Just the writing and like the world that they created, and it was like just scary enough to like make you jump a couple times, but not like super scary where you're like, I don't want to play this because this is too scary. Because I'm one of those gamers. Like I played like a half an hour worth of Outlast, and it's like, nah, I'm good. That's it.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was such a good balance of like jump takes and creepy, just like random creepy things that went on, and just like kind of peppered in with to the like ridiculous story that it was.
Yeah, Infinite and the original BioShock definitely pulled me in. And that was on my list too. So just the atmosphere, the tension, like you said. And then with Infinite, I know a lot of people that's divisive, mainly because you either don't care for the story or you don't understand it.
Yeah.
I love the story. I loved the ending. I thought that was phenomenal. And then the other thing that really caught me with Infinite that I actually just enjoyed was walking around Colombia. And I know a lot of people, again, have an issue with it because you're supposed to be in this almost like utopian type place in the clouds that might have a few issues going on, right?
Yeah,
you
sure.
start to discover. And then you're fighting just waves and waves of guys. But I really didn't care. I just enjoyed it too much.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. Just kind of, and I really liked them like kind of flipping it. You know what I mean? Like you're under the sea for the first one in this dark, like dim place, but then you're in these like bright clouds. It's so like, oh, this is amazing, but it's still this dark atmosphere, right? Like this, it's still a dark world that you become a part of.
So my next one is Batman, all the Arkham games, the Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, all of those. I'm a huge Batman fan first off. To begin with, I have a huge puzzle hanging up right in front of me. You know, I have my little Batman collection figures from when I was a kid in this room. I got the special edition, I think, of Arkham City with that Batman statue. And I love Batman, period. I always have. Watching the animated show growing up, Mask of the Phantom, everything like that. And so when I finally got to play as Batman in a good Batman game, I naturally couldn't stop thinking about it. And I'm pretty sure I made Olivia sit there and watch me play.
So nice of you.
Still in an apartment. I would just do that for like hours. But I love that game. I couldn't stop thinking about it when I played it. I finished them all as quickly as I could. I played New Game Plus with, I think, what was the Arkham Knight? We both played New Game Plus for the Platinum.
I think.
And then I fired it up a while ago and played some of the Batmobile races.
Oh, nice.
And so, because they were like 1989 Batman, which is my favorite Batmobile. So I played through those too, and was working on 100%ing it, and then life got in the way again, as it always does. Other games came out, but it's one I haven't deleted off my hard drive, even though it's almost 80 gigabytes. That and The Witcher both sit there at almost 80 gigs because I just want to go back to them so badly. Finish the DLC for The Witcher. I finished the main game, 200 and some hours. That's another one I couldn't stop thinking about. Sorry, I'm hijacking it here, but I forgot all about The Witcher. Like, I still think about that game from time to time and how badly I want to go back and play as Geralt some more and finish both DLCs because I started one, never finished it.
I mean, I was just into the Gwent. I just loved going into that world. Like, let me find someone to play Gwent with. This is so fun.
I know, and then they released it as a standalone, and I haven't gotten into it as much, but because I'm afraid if I do, I won't ever play anything else.
That'll be your Rocket League.
It will be.
That would be my next one, Rocket League. It's just, I don't know. It's just so addictive. It's just like, I don't know, when we would play like racquetball together.
Yeah.
It's different every time, right? It's even though we were playing, relatively the same skill level or whatever, it's still different. It's like, it's a game of skill / chance, right? So it's, you don't know who you're going to match up with. You don't know how, whether you're the bad one or they're the bad one. It's just, I don't know. And there's something that's exciting and fun and like, just, I don't know. It just keeps me going for sure because I enjoy it so much. I will say that I also hate it so much because it's super frustrating. But I feel like when you feel that passionately about a game that you're getting angry about it, that just means you love it that much more. In my opinion, maybe people don't agree with that. I'm sure my roommate would be like, "Are you sure you like playing that game? Because you swear a lot while you're playing it," and I do. But I really do. I really thoroughly enjoy it. I can get angry with it. I'll drop like a couple levels in the rankings, and I'll be super mad. But then I'll come back, a day or two later, and I'll just gradually work my way back up, and then I'll get in the streak where I'm like angry and bad again. And then, I feel like I would be a higher rank if I quit more if I quit more quickly. You know what I mean? It's one of those games where like you're having this like landslide of like you've lost 5 games in a row and you're like, I just need one. I need to win one to turn it around. And then you like win one and then you lose 5 more. And you're just like, what did I just do to myself? But it is. And they keep putting, I mean, I think on top of that is the fact that Psyonix is so invested in it. They keep putting out like, you know, crates for it and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, all the customization stuff that they put into it, I feel like they just keep making the game better, and people are getting better at the game. So you see these videos of like the professionals and the shots they're making. It's sick. So then when you pull off something like that, it gives you that sense of like euphoria. You're like, yes, I did something awesome. And, you know, of course you save the replay and then you never do anything with it, but yeah, I don't know, it's just so fun. I don't know. I just enjoy it so much.
And you know what, I love it too. I think I just don't think about it the way you do. Clearly you think about it when you're not playing it. That's the one thing I don't do.
Yeah, no, I'm always like, just like with Monster Hunter World, like I'm always like looking up like, you know, how to do things or how to like, you know, do flicks and like all that kind of crazy stuff, like all the like professional stuff. And, you know, the supposed videos that, I can't remember the dude's name. Like one of the professionals is partnering with this company to put out like training videos for people. Like I will watch all of those. You know what I mean? I will definitely be invested in that kind of a video because I just enjoy it so much.
Right. Cool. And I think that leads into the next one for me that I've already mentioned before. And you know, it's new, but Monster Hunter World. Like I'm not at the point yet where I'm tired of it.
Yeah, and that's definitely one on my list too. That's the other one I got.
I don't see myself getting tired of it for a long time because it's got such a stupid loop addictive system where grind, you kill it, and when you kill that monster, you just feel like the man every single time.
For sure.
You know, I don't think there's one monster we haven't killed that Matt hasn't screamed in my ear, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Well, and then yelled at you the other night because we got kicked out of the game together or whatever, and then you got to capture the beast or whatever before I did, and I was so mad.
Yeah.
Oh man. But again, it's that passion, man, right? It's that that passion for that game is what you know makes it good, right? When you're that passionate about the game, you're just like, man, I want this. I want this item or whatever. I want this to happen. I want to capture this animal or whatever so I can get more of its stuff that it drops, right? So I can build cooler armor or cooler weapons, and it's addictive. It really is.
It is. All right, so I guess that was my third, fourth one. Do you want to share one as well, or?
Well, that was one of mine too. So I mean,
so yeah. So I guess I'll jump to one of my last.
We each have two left.
Yeah. My other one came out last year, and I joke about it every week because it's in my backlog now. But I haven't forgotten my crew of Persona 5, Joker and Futuba and Makoto. You know, I haven't forgotten them. I'm going to come back to them eventually. I promise. I haven't. You know, we just finished the Palace together, and I need to get my social life on. You know, living the life of a Japanese high school student. So. I haven't forgotten about my studies.
Lies.
So I'll get there. I promise I will get there. But it is one of those games that, again, I Google and I search and I look for stuff and do all kinds of, research. I belong on like the Reddit thread again, and just I obsess over it. Like I'm constantly. That's one of those games that I sit there and I look at calendars that people have made of like, this is how you max out all your confidence. You should spend this day with this person, and you should spend this day going to the spa and this day reading this book. And like, I compare calendars. And I'm like, am I doing this right? Do I have enough time? What happens if I don't max out my social rank with this person? Then I'll have to start all over. What if I do this? And like every time you can only save up to 16 slots. I've pretty much used all 16 slots. And when I have to erase one, I'm like, well, that was 40 hours ago, but what if I need that save?
Yeah, you're sucked in for sure.
Yeah, so that's why that's number 2 on my list, because if I had to put numbers, I would at least number the top 2. That would be my second one. So,
all right. Well, that is a nice segue into mine, because when I think about this next game, I think about the ridiculous number of saves that I had for this, and that is Fallout 3.
Oh yeah,
it's one of those games, right? It's like, I think I did. I had the Game of the Year edition, and I did all the DLC. It took me like 120 hours, and I was using the guide the whole time. Like, I wanted everything. I wanted every experience from that game. And I'm like, oh man, should I make this decision? Should I make that decision? And even with the guide in my hand, like, I was like, all right, let me save this, and maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know. We'll see. Did I? Probably not. And then, you're hemming and hawing. You're like, well, wait, do I really want to go back 5 hours? I don't know, dude. Like, maybe I could go to a different save. That was only like a couple hours ago. But what if I don't remember where I'm at? And it is. The games get so in depth like that you're just like, if I went back 2 hours, would I remember what I was doing?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No,
right?
you wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't.
Right? Because there's so much going on in those games. There's so many side quests, so many like main quests, so many things just like blow up, you know what I mean? With your like mini nuke or whatever. Your fat boy, if you will. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Fallout 3 was just huge for me. And it was one of those like time consuming things. And back then, I mean, I think I wasn't really like looking stuff up, because it wasn't like, I don't know, when I was playing Fallout 3, I didn't really think of like stuff in that sense with like the internet. But I mean, because I had the guide, like I was always like looking up stuff in the guide and like, oh, what should I do next? Or like, like where should I go with this,
Oh yeah, I still have that guide too. It sits on my shelf here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was your guide.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. I remember it came back worse for wear.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, no, I was the same way with Fallout. It was obsessive, right? And so when you're like that, even when you're not playing the game, where you're like looking through the guide or looking through this, or you're sitting there thinking about it. And Fallout 4 didn't have that same resonance with, I think, either one of us, but 3 was just something.
Yeah.
So
yeah 4. I mean, 4 was good. I enjoyed 4. I still never finished it, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't, for some reason, it wasn't as like, man, this is just ridiculous. And maybe it was the setting. I don't know. Maybe it was because of the fact that it was like DC, and I've been to DC numerous times, with my dad. So like, so knowing those locations and seeing that kind of stuff was really cool. And then, they had the Pittsburgh DLC,
Right. Yeah, there's just something about it. And then the last one is also newer, but from last year. And it's a game I still think about, to be honest. I still go on the Reddit thread every once in a while. I still look up stuff about it. I still imagine what a sequel or the next entry in the series might be like. It's one of those games that I actually went back or looked up all the other games that came before it, because it does have it is a kind of a sort of direct sequel to one of the other games, but then all the other games this director has made are in the same universe, and so they start all the way back in the BC era, if I remember correctly, or maybe it's 800 AD. It's pretty early on, and it goes all the way up to 55,000 AD, right? And so you should probably know where I'm going with this, but if you've played it. And it's one of those games that after the ending was done, after I finished the ending, like it's Nier Automata, and after I finished the ending, which I won't spoil for anyone, because I really think you should, and I still think you should finish it. I know you got through the first quote unquote playthrough. I
finally just bit the bullet and said, I'm going to keep this to GameFly, and then canceled my subscription.
Good. It's one of those games that after I finished it, I had no one to talk to about it. It was like I needed a therapist. And
yeah.
So it's not only did it stick with me while I was playing it, I couldn't wait to get it back to playing it. I would think about it throughout the day. I would try to look stuff up without spoiling stuff. I would read about weapons. I would read about things. It's one of those games that when I was done with it, I had no one to talk to. And it was almost as if I needed a therapist to talk to. And I found, thankfully, someone in a group I'm in on Facebook suggested a podcast where they spend an hour discussing it.
Oh, wow.
and how they had the same experience. And so it was like group therapy in a podcast form. And so I loved it. And I
That's
still
awesome.
contemplate going back, deleting my save, and starting from the beginning from scratch and playing another 60 hours
Yeah.
because I love it that much. And so that's one of those games that not only stuck with me while I was playing it, has stuck with me after I finished it. And honestly, I would put it in my top 5 games of all time that I've ever played.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should finish it then.
You're gonna get to the end, you're like, honestly, what the big deal was. But I do think it's one of those ones where it picks up on what people call Route C or the third playthrough, or really what. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, and this is sort of spoilery, but I don't know if you noticed, but you didn't see a title screen like you did in most games. You never see a title screen in playing through the first 2 playthroughs of the game.
I think you're wrong.
No, I'm positive about that one. You don't see a title screen
Because I haven't gotten to C, and I definitely saw a title screen.
at C, Route C.
I have not gotten to Route C because that's the one where you play. What's Route C, right? Who do you play as?
Well, the second route is when you play as 9S,
Yeah,
and then
there's a title screen for that.
I'm not talking about the title screen where you hit start and continue game. I'm talking about like an in-game credit screen, title screen.
I'm pretty sure there was one for 9S for the B route.
There's not. I can guarantee that.
No, 'cause I
I bet
remember-
this podcast.
I'm just saying. We'll look it up because I swear I remember you saying that to me before. And I was like, no, there's definitely a title screen right going on right now.
Well, I'm gonna look it up. But anyway, I'm 99% sure. And so anyway, and what I mean by title screens, right, is the opening scene screen
Opening
that you
credits.
get
Yeah,
like
sure,
in Metal
yeah.
Gear Solid, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, Assassin's Creed does that. Nice segue for myself to my last one. But yeah, you'll play like what, 15, 20 minutes of a game, and then you'll see like the title pop up.
Right.
This is, hours worth of playthrough, and then you see it. But that's my last one, Assassin's Creed 2. And it could probably go just for the genre in general. Say that a couple times fast. Genre in general.
Right.
But 2 was super interesting, and they all are, just from the history part of it, right? Like, that's what drew me into it and wanted me to, like, look up more things and, like, about Italy and, like, the time period and what was going on. And, it wasn't necessarily about the game, per se, but it was about the history. But it was still super in-depth of, like, oh, man, this is crazy, this stuff that happened. Like, this is, like, pretty... because especially in the early games, like they were very diligent about what they like, kind of plopping these, characters into the exact history of where they were, right? And like these are people that actually died at this time. Obviously, they weren't necessarily assassinated, but like, they died around this era or this year, and like, you happen to kill them in the game, but as far as that everything else goes, it's pretty true to the era or the history of what, of where you are, basically. And like that's what made me continue to think about it, is like, man, like this stuff pretty much really happened, to a large extent, right?
And the second one was really, really kicked off what became Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was amazing and, and done really well and just as historic. But yeah, like once it got to Italy and Ezio, and that's really kind of like where they hit their stride and like, where it became the game that everyone knows and loves, basically.
Yeah.
Or hates, because you try to run up a wall and you just, nope. Someone is chasing me. Climb the effing wall.
Yeah, that was frustrating. Those are games those are all great games when you think of what we've listed off, right? Those are all games that have in some way impacted or shaped games that have come after them.
Yeah, for sure.
Or, BioShock with storytelling. Persona 5 is just, I think, I don't know if we'll see the impact on that yet, but I think we will. Monster Hunter World, I think, is a huge deal right now. Assassin's Creed 2 shaped things. Fallout 3 shaped a lot of, ways that we play games. Rocket League is, a train that won't stop.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, when you have a legitimate esports thing.
Yeah, it's just very powerful. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for our topic. That was pretty good. I will take it, unless there's anything else you want to add to it.
No, I think that's pretty much it.
And I'm still going to prove you on that near automata thing. I will find it. So this is this day in gaming history. This is when I plucked a few random dates. We always do this on a Thursday, so I tend to take that Thursday. And so today is Thursday, February 22nd. And so looking back in this day in history, just a few things I like to throw out. And a lot of times it's Japan or other countries. Stuff happens on this day in gaming history. It's usually just release dates of stuff, of games. But I thought it was interesting. A lot of United States one and United Kingdom ones that I'll mention here. And so in 1991, Double Dragon 3 was released, which I remember playing Double Dragon 2. I don't remember Double Dragon 3. Do you?
I do not, no.
I don't even know what that would look like, Double Dragon 3. And so I'm going to assume it's one that I just never got around to playing, or that only existed. Maybe it never existed outside of Japan. I have no idea. It was on the Genesis, so I should have played it, but I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
So Double Dragon 3 Sacred Stones. In 2007, Flow, which
nice.
You, I think, played, right?
Yeah.
Released on the PS3. They re-released the classic Qbert as well in the United States and Canada. In 2011, and it's funny because I just was listening to something about this the other day, and I know that they just re-released like the Mega Edition or whatever it's called. Bulletstorm came out this week. And so I never played that, but I know they re-released that on PS4 just last year. Crisis 3 came out in 2013, which I loved. I remember I beat that game and I played it. That was awesome. That was one of those games where you could turn your character into like a stealth suit, and you could you could hunt with a bow and still have guns. It was a first person shooter, but it was a lot of fun. And so that was just a few games that came out in this day. Nothing too exciting. Like I said, Sony PlayStation 5 coming out this week, or being announced this week, was a bigger, or not 5, I'm sorry, wow. 4 being announced 5 years ago this week, right, was a bigger deal.
Yeah.
And that was earlier this week, but that was kind of cool too, to think about that and wonder whether or not we'll get a PS5 announcement this year or next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, that was just a short little look at this day in gaming history. So this next segment is See You Soon. And this is where we just take a list of games that have come out this week from the PS blog and talk about them, so that if you are interested, and I did something special this week, I purposely went and found a game that came out this week to try out so that I could talk about it a little bit more in depth. And that was one of those games I mentioned in the beginning. So let's go ahead and take a look at the PS blog here, right? Just give me a moment here and I'll find it. All this news about all this other stuff, this good stuff, what did I say? Oh, PS Drop, huh?
Yeah,
no wonder, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Get it together, man.
Gotta get together. All right, so new games for 2/20, which was 2 days ago. So Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet is listed here at the top. Comes out February 23rd, which is tomorrow. It's a Friday release on PS4. I actually just started watching this anime because one of my students, we're reading a book called Ready Player One. That movie comes out next month.
Nice.
They told me that there was an anime similar to it, so I started watching it. So I know all about Sword Art Online now because I was doing research thinking, maybe I'll show this in class. So dive in the world of Gale Gun Gale Online and experience the next chapter of the world-renowned series Sword Art Online. Set in the acclaimed Sword Art Online universe, Fatal Bullet empowers players to create a custom character and alter the course of the story through their actions. Build a party and explore the world of Gun Gale Online, wielding powerful weapons and deadly skills. Do you know anything about Sword Art Online?
I do not.
It's an anime where these characters, this new video game gets released and like millions of people want to play it. It's a VR game. And VR is very, very real in the future. And so what actually ends up happening is they find out that they can't leave the game. They are stuck in the game until they defeat it. And if they remove their headsets, they die. And if they die in the game, they die.
Wow. So yeah, it is very Ready Player One-esque.
It is in some ways, yeah. And so it's kind of cool. It's a cool concept, and the video games, I guess, tie in with that nicely. Here, I'm going to give you the name of this first one. I want you to think of a person's name.
Okay.
The first name is A. The second name begins with a K. The last name begins with a K. Mm-hmm. Let me read you the description. It's a comedy RPG where after waking up in the middle of nowhere with amnesia, you try to piece together what happened to you. With your trusty lizard companion, the two of you must uncover a massive conspiracy involving a powerful monolith. And it comes out tomorrow, PS4 digital.
And these are names you said?
It's one person's name. His first name begins with an A. His last name begins with a K.
Okay, it's one person's name. It's Andy Carnivore with a K.
Ooh, not bad. I don't know if I can pronounce this right. Abo Kashem.
Oh, well.
And he's holding up what looks like it looks like a lizard. Well, it almost looks more like something else, but it looks like a lizard, I guess, with sunglasses on it.
What is that something else that it looks like, Robert?
It looks like a beaver or something. It doesn't look like a lizard to me. But then again, he has a big schnoz, the character, so maybe it's, abstract art.
Yeah.
All right, this one comes out on PSVR digital. I don't think this one's on sale this week, but I did see it. And so, again, PSVR is having that massive sale. It's called Apex Construct. In this atmospheric first-person action game built exclusively for VR, the fate of mankind rests on you, the last human alive. Mm-hmm. I feel like the PSVR descriptions get gypped. They're always one sentence.
It's because it's an immersive world, Robert, and they just let it speak for itself once you get into it.
Apparently. Wow. It's not speaking to my wallet. Armored Warfare PS4 and digital is out this week, and I think it's a free-to-play game. Introduce you to the dynamic modern vehicle combat where one shell in a split second can be all that stands between you and victory. And it looks like a tank game. I think it is a free-to-play game. I think I've seen tons of advertisements for it.
What's it called?
Armored Warfare.
Huh. Do you think it has... maybe it's not Warfare that I'm thinking of. What was that free-to-play game like way back? Was it Warframe maybe?
Warframe, which I actually re-downloaded because I wanted to get back into because I heard it's amazing now.
Yeah.
And again, time won't let me. So maybe maybe we'll do a Let's Play that. But yeah, it is a free-to-play tank game. I was right.
Huh, cool.
All right. Moving on. This is the one I downloaded this week. It's called Deadbolt. PS4, PSV, Vita, digital. I downloaded it on my Vita. It is cross-play. Deadbolt, or at least cross-buy. I don't know if it's cross-play. Deadbolt is an extremely challenging stealth action hybrid that allows you to take control of the Grim Reaper to quell the recent undead uprising. And so
that sounds pretty cool.
Huh?
That does sound pretty cool. Yeah,
it is really cool, and it's a little weird to controls at first, but the graphics, the very pixelated, little pixel art like Celeste on steroids. But what I loved about it so far is the fact that you're literally playing like against zombie drug lords, and you're the Grim Reaper, and you're taking them out. Right?
So it's a feel-good game. So it's a feel-good game.
It is a feel-good game. Well, actually, it was funny. You know how some games come out with that warning, like epileptic seizures and stuff like that?
Yeah.
This one came up with a warning. Said, "Warning: this game talks about death and suicide." And I was like, "Well, all right."
That's
getting into.
There was that warning in front of. Oh gosh, what was the one? Yeah. About
mental illness and yeah. That's what it actually reminded me of a lot. So it's a cool game. It's $10 on Vita. Check it out. $10 on the PS4. Defender's Quest, Valley of the Forgotten Deluxe Edition. I'm guessing that's what DX stands for. PS4 Digital. Defender's Quest is a tower defense RPG hybrid that focuses on tactical depth, customization, and story. That means no random encounters, no spiky-haired emo kids, no forced time sinks, and no tedious repetitive battles.
What?
I did not expect that based on the picture, that description. It looks like a wizard, right? She's a mage with like a cape. I did not expect the spiky-haired emo kids line. PSVR Digital, out 2/23. I'll read you the description first. Immerse yourself in the virtual world of this character, I'm not going to say who it is, and experience the first virtual cat that feels like a real one. It's called Conrad the Kitten.
Oh, the first virtual cat that feels like a real one. So you basically just go around playing with like yarn balls and like sniffing catnip.
I don't even know if you do that. It just looks like you pet the cat, to be honest.
What? Oh, you're not the cat? You're the caretaker of the cat?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's somebody holding up a cat. I don't know. You know, when we get to the trophies, we'll look at trophies and see.
All right.
This one is Little Adventure on the Prairie. PS4, PS Vita, digital, out 2/22. Venture through 12 levels and destroy all the monsters standing between you and the end. I kid you not. I think I could have done better in PowerPoint with the graphic art for this one. I'm serious. It's terrible.
That description, though. One sentence? Come on.
You in the end. Metal Gear Survive came out. No one cares. PS4 digital retail.
Ain't that the truth?
It builds upon Metal Gear 5's enduring stealth action gameplay while introducing the new elements of exploration and survival to create a bold new experience.
Dude, how do you have a stealth action game where zombies are trying to kill you? Because they're not stealthy.
No. No, I don't understand.
You just gotta kill them. Like, I don't get it. We'll see. But unless it's like maybe like Last of Us-ish, where you have to kind of like creep around and like silently kill them, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe. This one, I'm going to read you the... No, you know what? I have to tell you about this one. I just don't even know what to do with it. PS4 digital retail, out 2/23. It's called Past Cure. Okay. It's an intense, cinematic, story-driven experience that challenges the player to use mind-bending mental abilities to survive. And the cover art looks like every angry male protagonist in a suit ever, with like the dark flames coming off of him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Stereotypical.
Dark and foreboding. I hope that the gameplay is more interesting than the cliche design. In fact, I can't even find it on the PS Store, so I don't even know. Oh, it's out tomorrow. That's why I can't find it. Son of a gun, I have to wait a day. I'll have to look up the trailer. All right. Almost there. Premium Pool Arena, PS4 digital. Awaken the pool pro within you. Rediscover the joy and tension of traditional pool through the different game modes and ultra intuitive gameplay.
Become a pool shark, I guess, huh?
You could become a pool shark. Goodness, there's a lot of games out this week. I can't handle this. All right. We're going to try to roll through these quicker because I didn't realize there was this many. Rad Rogers, PS4 digital and retail, out 2/21, so it came out Tuesday. Rad is a rambunctious but spirited young boy who maybe plays too many video games. After dozing off at the tail end of a long night of gaming, Rad awakens to find his dusty old console has turned itself back on. So it's Jumanji.
Dun, dun, dun.
Restless Spirit. Bunch of Japanese writing. PSVR, out digital, 2/23. The spirit of a girl appears in front of a father whose daughter is lost. This man, filled with grief in his heart, follows the guidance of the spirit, wandering ever deeper into the forest. Did we read this one for PS4 one week?
I don't think
Restless Spirit? Oh, man, I've read this somewhere before. I swear I have. I wonder if it came out on PS4 at one point, because if I didn't read it to you, I read it to myself sometime. I'm going to look it up. Anyway, moving on. I'll figure this out. Run Dorothy Run, PSVR digital. Run Dorothy Run is an immersive, endless runner with cheeky take on the literary classic. Literary classic?
What's the title character's name?
Are you joking?
No, but what did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, Run Dorothy Run.
Oh. Like The Wizard of Oz?
I guess. I mean, a cheeky take on the literary classic. It's an endless runner. Those look like flying monkeys in the background. That does not look like Dorothy to me, though. Looks like Cinderella or Rapunzel. So, okay, whatever. Sure, cool. That's good. Endless runner. Hate those. The Station, PS4 digital. How would you react if a sentient alien civilization was discovered that challenged everything you knew about biology, chemistry, physics, and religion?
I'd probably curl up in a little ball. Just shut down. Physically and emotionally.
That sounds like a walking simulator game. Like you just walk through and explore stuff.
Right.
Doesn't it? I'm willing to bet my hard-earned money that I earn every week on this podcast, the whole $0 I earn.
You always were a gambling man.
I was. You know what? It looks like a walking simulator just clicking through the images here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's walking simulator all over. Those make me go to sleep sometimes. I already talked about Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet, right? That was at the very top.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, just want to make sure. Well, that's out. PS4, digital this week. Retail tomorrow. Sounds cool. Symmetry. I saw this one on the store. PS4 digital. Symmetry is a survival management game set in a retro futuristic sci-fi universe. Your main goal is to manage the crash survivors and help them withstand the desolate, extremely cold environment in order to help their spacecraft, to fix their spacecraft and escape. So that sounds like, what was that, a Hungry one? Alone in the Dark, Hungry in the Dark. What was that one that came out on PS4 that you played a lot of? Do you know what I'm talking about? With the little guy.
Wasn't it Alone in the Dark?
One Night. Was it Alone in the Dark? Was it One Night to Survive? What was that called? With a little cartoon character and you had to constantly manage supplies. And,
Yeah. I think it was Alone in the Dark.
Maybe.
Pretty sure.
Tiles is out PS4 digital. It's simple. Get from the green tile to the red tile while clearing the blue tiles in between. Consider your moves carefully, though, as you might regret them later. Oh, and do it fast because the very ground beneath you is falling.
So it's not simple.
No, it doesn't sound simple at all.
I mean, there's a complete reversal. Like, oh, it's simple, but it's not. Dumb.
Yeah, it sounds not so simple. Xenon Valkyrie plus sign. PS4 digital. It's just, there's a plus sign. It's just plus, I guess. Xenon Valkyrie is a rogue.
Usually that's what the plus sign means.
Usually. Yeah. Could be a cross. Who knows? Is a roguelike platformer game with RPG elements in which you must fight to the deepest part of a moon and halt the plans of a wicked witch.
Cool.
Yeah, it sounds a little rough around the edges, but, I wouldn't, oh, it looks like a little 8-bit, 16-bit game. All right. Cool. I might actually be into that if I didn't have so many other games to play.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up the blog, and see you soon. So we'll see those soon, perhaps.
We might, yeah.
So here's the skinny. As far as this, what would Matt do for that trophy? I looked through the game. I only found one game, and it doesn't even come out in North America. It comes out in Asia, in Japan. However, the trophies are in English, and so I thought it would be worth checking some of them out.
Sure.
The game is called Girls und Panzer Dream Tank Match.
What?
Girls und Panzer Dream Tank Match.
Like tank the vehicle or like tank tops?
No, tank the vehicle. It's a little girl in a school uniform screaming as a tank. Like it looks like a cannon of a tank is right behind her.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely anime-esque.
So you're what? So you're Tiananmen squaring these little like Chinese, Japanese schoolgirls?
No, the genre says it's a shooter.
Okay.
I don't know. Bandai Namco makes it. Themes are action and warfare, and has single player and multiplayer.
Okay.
But I love the titles of all the trophies. I don't even know if I want to make you guess them. Maybe what I could do is give you the name of the trophy, and you could tell me what you think you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so I will help you out with this. There's stuff like training trophies, difficulty trophies, acquiring different things, right? Different items and stuff like that. And so this will try to help you out here. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
First trophy we're going to start with is there are so many important moments in life, but this is not one of them.
Oh, that's definitely the training missions.
Yeah, you're about right. Clear all exhibition matches.
Yeah.
All right, how about this one? The path we take will become Panzerfahren.
I feel like that's just the first mission.
You're pretty close. That's actually the beginners, clear all beginners training.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of tricked you there. All right. That's Panzerfahren. This is not war. If we stray from the path, won't the tanks cry?
That's the title of the trophy?
Yeah.
Read a novel, because clearly that's how long. That's a ridiculous title for a trophy.
So this is clear all extra missions on normal difficulty. And so keep that in mind for this one.
Okay.
The ones who take home victory are the ones who take home pasta.
Oh, those are clear all the Italy missions.
That would be good. Hard difficulty.
Yeah.
Where's another one? Okay, so this one's an acquiring one. Tell me what you got to acquire. Tanks carve a path where nothing else can. They can even go through hell and high water.
Well, I mean, it's collect the gold high water.
All right. It was acquire all tanks.
Oh, tanks. Like it.
Here, this might be easier for you. We should just give ourselves a paint job, too.
Customize a tank.
Ooh, close. Yeah, acquire all tank colors.
Okay.
Let's see if there's any other. Aren't these great, though?
They're pretty ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. So here's your customize a tank one. A tank like this is absurd, but interesting.
Okay.
Perform a boost dash is called turn to the right quickly. I don't know if there's any other ones that are... Whoa. Oh, this one might not be so bad.
Okay.
So this is kind of one of those ones where, like, you have to, like, do something. We are done for. No, we're not.
Is that... Okay, we are done for. No, we're not.
Yeah, but there's little ellipses between each one, so I was trying to give you a dramatic pause.
Oh, well, thank you for adding to the drama of it. I appreciate that.
Yep.
It's going to be one of those ones where you have to, like, survive the level with, like less than, like, 10% of your life or less than 5% of your life.
That's not bad. You turn the tide with a decisive shot, and so close enough.
Yeah, that's pretty similar.
Yeah. Oh, here's the last one. Last one I'll do for this one. Panzer IV? Question mark, exclamation point.
Pants? Like the article of clothing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Blow off all the people's clothes.
That would be awesome, and that would be very anime-like.
Right?
But that's not right. It's participate in a free match. So,
okay.
what I love about this is all those trophies, the little pictures are bears with like an eye patch, like a Band-Aid over their eye or a black eye, or their like ears wrapped in like bandage and gauze.
Nice.
And so it's just like different forms of these little bears all beat up.
Nice.
For the trophies. So I don't know what that game is. I don't know what it has to do with. I don't know if it'll ever come to North America, but I just wanted to read those trophies because when I was looking for trophies, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
That was just great. Just the title, Girls und Panzer Dream Tank Match, just caught my eye. All right, so we were talking about another game earlier, and what were we saying? We were like, oh, we better look at the trophies for this. We were questioning it. It was on the drop, and amazingly, I've already forgotten it. Oh, was it Run Dorothy Run? No, it was not.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Was it Run Dorothy Run?
Yeah, I think so.
Or no, it was Conrad the Kitten. How could we forget?
Conrad the Kitten.
Conrad the Kitten.
Yeah, how could you forget?
Oh, for shame.
Yeah, I want to see what these are.
Yeah, we need to and Conrad the Kitten.
And let me just say before you read anything about it, if there is not a trophy called "Pet Me Baby One More Time," I'm going to be really mad.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's only 13 trophies.
Okay.
9 bronze, 3 silver, 1 gold, no platinum.
Yeah.
The funny part is you actually... Oh, never mind. I'll take that back. All right, so here are some of the trophies. Clean cat, visit the bathroom. Couch potato, chill out in the living room. Good night fox, good night squirrel, go to the dark forest. It's so fluffy, cuddle the kitten in plushie mode. Well dressed, wear 4 different accessories at the same time. It wasn't me.
So you are the cat. You are the cat.
It sounds like it. Yeah, but here's the deal. You also cuddle the kitten, so maybe you can pick.
Oh.
Rich
you want to
kitty
be the cat lady or the kitten.
Yeah. Pretty much. Rich kitty, have 100 coins in your purse. Pretty kitty, unlock all accessories. Little meow maid, visit the beach with your kitty. Here we go. Finish the kitten tutorial. They need a tutorial for this game.
Wow.
High flyer gives the kitten a balloon ride.
That's nuts.
That's it.
I'm mad.
I mean, there was 1 or 2 I didn't read, but they were not what you wanted. So sorry.
Pet me, baby, one more time. Should have been in there. Hands down. Hands down. Should have been in there.
I do have to say, when I started playing, I'm going to jump topics real quick within the trophies here because I pulled up Deadbolt while we were talking.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, when I earned those trophies this morning, I think it was this morning, it showed on the trophies on my Vita, it showed that 0.00% of people had earned those trophies, which makes me wonder if I was like the first person to earn those trophies. I'm serious. I think I might have been. I need to look and see, like, you know how you can click on a trophy and it says, on PSN profiles anyway, it can tell you who the first person to earn it was.
That could be you, Robert.
I wasn't. I was the 14th person.
Oh, late to the game, buddy.
Oh, wait.
To the game.
Yeah, I was. 14th person to earn that trophy.
Late to the game.
Ugh.
Sad.
Whatever. It's cool. I guess.
Maybe you should get the kitten game and you'll be the first. Because who's going to play that?
I did actually look at that, and there were only 5 owners for that game on PSN profiles.
Oh.
1 game owner. I'm correction. There's 1 game owner.
There's your chance, dude.
He hasn't earned any trophies. And
how could you own the game and not earn those trophies? Ugh.
Oh, well, he did finish the tutorial. I lied. Okay. And he visited the bathroom.
All right.
Oh, well, there goes that dream. Crushed. All right. That was an abbreviated version of what would Matt do for that trophy.
Yes.
But before we leave today, I want to just give a shout out to a couple of people on this podcast. I'm calling this, since this podcast is called We Are One, You Are Two, I figured I'll call this the You Are Two community shout out because you are.
Oh, what? Oh, aren't you clever? You are clever.
I know. Thanks.
Such a wordsmith.
Sometimes. So we want to do sometimes.
It only took him 8 episodes to think of that, folks.
I'm not even done yet. You just wait till I'll see what I come up with in the 50th episode. I'll be like, you know what? Actually, this is better. Anyway, we want to do these more often, but I need you to send me your community stuff. So if you're one of the 10 people who listens to this podcast,
come on,
and you're a YouTuber, a part-time streamer, a guy who makes little cool clay figures on Twitter, and you want to send it to me, go for it. Our first shout out I want to give a shout out to is a guy who will devour your soul. He's a part-time YouTuber and streamer. I've checked out his channel. He's a funny guy. He's got different videos on there. It's just not him gaming. Sometimes he gives updates of stuff. His name is Mr. OverSoul53 on YouTube. It's called OverSoulGaming channel. So go check out his channel this week. Give him a like, a subscribe. He's got some funny Let's Plays, like I said, and other videos he uploads as well. I'm glad to have him as part of the community. I'm going to include him when I get this up on YouTube. Finally, I'll include him in the annotations and the notes below. I'll include his YouTube link. But if you search for Mr. OverSoul53, you'll find him. Cool guy. I think I found him on Twitter, actually, that way, too. He was streaming one night. Cool. And then the second shout-out I want to give out to is actually a guy on Twitter. Doesn't necessarily game, but he makes little indie game statues, and I tried to buy one. He said they're not for sale because they're too sentimental value, but that's cool. I appreciate it anyway. You can find him at CD Cubed, Qubed. His name is Caleb Cook. He did an awesome one of Celeste that I found, but he did want me to mention, and I think this is even more important and really neat. He does translations of Japanese print and media to English. And he has his
cool.
own website at https, / Caleb D Cook. So CALEBD Cook.com. Go check him out there. Check out his Twitter. It's got lots of good translation stuff. Also glad to have him as part of the community. Well, I reached out to him because I saw him on Twitter. I don't remember how. And I was like, oh, I really want that Celeste, that little Celeste sculpture.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I have that? And he's like, well, sorry, too much sentimental value and copyright and stuff. And I understand. I respect it.
Yeah.
I'll still bother him for it someday. Maybe he'll change his mind. All right. So if you have a talent or labor of love that you like to do, send it to us. We'll highlight it. I need your Twitter, your YouTube link, your website, anything where you self-promote, and I will highlight it for you. And then you'll have 10 more people following you. All right.
Word.
Matt, it's that time.
It is. It's that time that I need to get ready to go to work.
I know. You
support
gotta
myself.
Yeah. I know. I got to go back to grading. So that's all I got for this week.
Sweet.
All right. Until next time, game on.
Game on. This is the outro music. Outro music for the week.
And it's fresh.
This is
Fresh.
outro music. It's always
So fresh.
fresh every week. Yeah.
Muffins, like muffins, like muffins, like muffins, like muffins.